The coalition will today unveil its nuclear energy plan, promising it would save Australians $264 billion by 2050, compared with Labor's renewables-only plan. Peter Dutton hopes to use a combination of renewables, gas and nuclear power under his policy. But the announcement follows the release of a conflicting CSIRO report that found large-scale nuclear energy would cost significantly more than new wind or solar generation. For their take, let's bring in Deputy Opposition Leader Susan Lee and Education Minister Jason Clare. Good morning. Susan, let's start with you. Your report says it's going to save money. Another report says it will actually cost more. How do people know which is right?
Nat, good morning. And later today, we will release the economics of a grid that includes renewables, gas and zero emissions nuclear. And unsurprisingly, we find that it will be substantially cheaper than Labor's $600 billion renewables-only plan. It will deliver cheaper, cleaner and more consistent energy. And if you look around the world, 32 countries have nuclear in their mix. 50 more countries are considering it. Australians are up for an adult conversation on this. We all find this wherever we go. I guess my question for Jason, because he's always snapped back with sometimes some quite insulting remarks about
that's
nuclear.
Unfair. It's almost Christmas.
Well, I'm giving you the chance today, Jason. Can you tell us why you're against nuclear?
Hang on, you're announcing your policy and you're already asking questions of us.
Yeah, Susan, let's stick with you for a minute though, because we all know we go to council to try and, put a new bathroom on, and they might think it's that price at the start, but it blows out. So how do you know it's only going to be that amount?
Well, I encourage everybody to listen to the economics and the costings that will be released later today, and I won't get ahead of that announcement. But I can say this, you really can't trust the Labor Party when it comes to the cost of energy, given that the promises...
Well, we're talking about yours.
Down by
Let's talk about yours, Susan. So is it true you're going to still do 53% renewables, 38% nuclear? Can you guarantee that you'll stick to that price of $300-odd billion and people's power bills will come down?
You are asking me to get ahead of the announcement later today.
Well, it's in all the papers, so someone's given it to them. They haven't made it up, have they?
But if the system costs less, Nat, you pay less. And I want Australians to think about that. Labor's plan, $600 billion, renewables only. So, no decent baseload power in the system. This is the point. This is why manufacturers are leaving the country. If our system is substantially cheaper, and you will see that it is, then Australians will pay less. And right now, they're paying more. They're paying more in their electricity bills every single month.
OK, Jason, these are apparently the same people, this team called Frontier Economics that Chris Bowen, your Energy Minister, has used. Apparently it's going to cost less and be better for the environment. What do you think?
I think this is the biggest hoax since Milli Vanilli. This is never, ever going to... And apologies to all the kids out there. Ask your mum, ask your grandma about that. This is never going to happen. Best case scenario is it's going to take 20 years before it turns a light bulb on. We can't wait that long. We can't wait until 11. I'm in my... Well, before they turn all of them on. Right?
OK, 11, right. They'd have an operational nuclear power plant in New South Wales in 2036.
Right. We can't wait until I'm in my 70s before you get the energy that we need as a country. We need it right now. And that's before you get to costs. And I back the CSIRO before I'd back Frontier any day of the week.
Your government's used them, though.
Yeah, but I'd back the CSIRO over them. And just like every one of Peter Dutton's other policies, this thing, I reckon, has got the shelf life of a seafood milkshake. Give it a couple of days and we'll realise it's all off. The bottom line is this will cost a bomb, it's going to take way too long to build, and it will jack up your prices. This is a dog of a policy, and I suspect that Australians know it, and that's why they'll vote against it at the next election. So,
Susan, the implication there is that Peter Dutton's going to promise this, get in, and he won't maybe even be in by the time it's all built.
Well, that is a rather frivolous and I would even say insulting remark from Jason. And I really would like him to explain why he is against a policy that is being adopted around the world that is zero emissions, and why he thinks that Labor's renewables only, everything renewables, costing, as modelled, $600 billion is actually going to meet the needs of Australian households and manufacturers. Yes, it is important to get it right between now and when zero emissions nuclear comes online. But I can tell you this government is not getting it right. It's not getting it right at all. We've got New South Wales, the state where Jason and I both live, going into emergency conditions. We've got premiers extending the life of coal-fired power. We've got announcements about gas left, right and centre from Labor. They don't know what they're doing. Their energy policy is a train wreck.
Okay, well, look, Chevo and I are off on holidays. Along with the airport novels, we'll do a crash course in nuclear energy before January. Thank you very much for your time this year. We'll see you after
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.